It's Wednesday, June 29th, 2011. This is Dabu7. This video here is going to take a look at the past 66 days and the 8 different nuke plant facilities that have had problems in the past 2 months. And we're going to start off with April 22nd in Atlanta. Nuclear reactor 150 miles from Atlanta shuts down abruptly and unexpectedly. Triggered if system detects conditions that could be unsafe. Let's take a look at this video.
With breaking news out of Burke County, Georgia on this Thursday night, that's where one of the nuclear reactors at Plant Vogtle has been shut down. Now tonight, the Southern Company announced that Unit 1 was taken out of service after it unexpectedly shut down around 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon. According to the Southern Company, the shutdown procedure was completely without incident, but it's not clear what caused it. Nuclear reactors are designed to shut down if automatic monitoring systems detect conditions that could be unsafe. We talked with a spokeswoman with Southern Nuclear just moments ago about what's happening at Unit 1 right now.
Plant Vogtle Unit 1 is at 0% output. We are doing a thorough root cause analysis so that we get a strong understanding of exactly what happened and what the sequence of events was.
Again, Unit 1 shut down. It shut itself down yesterday. Unit 2 is still operating normally. Count on News Channel 6.
Okay, on to number 2. Nuclear reactor in New York goes into automatic shutdown. Refueled just days before. It says the owners at the 9 Mile Point Unit 1 this morning are trying to figure out why the recently refueled nuclear reactor automatically shut down. Now, nuke plants are designed to automatically shut down in response to certain indications and conditions. It had been operating at 47% power until the shutdown occurred on Monday night. Unit 1 operators had lowered reaction power on April 26 based on indications within the feed water system. The plant had been operating at reduced levels while equipment repairs were in progress, the company said. So, there's number 2. We go on to number 3 from June 5th. Pennsylvania nuke reactor unexpectedly shuts down for the 3rd time in 1 week. 3 times, 1 week. And it says that the reactors at the Pennsylvania nuke plant had shut down unexpectedly 3 times in the past weeks. But regulatory authorities say no safety problems have been reported. The Nuclear Regulatory Commission says Unit 1 of Exelon Nuclear's Limerick generating station shut down at 10:15 a.m. on that Friday. The shutdown came less than a day after the plant put the Unit 2 reactor back online following unplanned shutdowns. So there's number 3. On to number 4. Virginia nuclear reactor shuts down. Problem detected in the cooling duct. Virginia Dominion Power spokesman said Tuesday that the utility has aborted efforts to restart the unit, which had been out of service since April 16th. And it had a problem with its cooling duct. It's the main theme with all these nuclear plants. It's all about the cooling. Let's move on. Number 5 from June 28th. Cooling pump fails at New Jersey nuclear reactor. Plant shuts down. Remains in hot shutdown. Okay. Starting to see a repeating pattern with the cooling process. And have you folks ever stopped to think about what will happen if a large CME strikes this country or this planet and shuts down all electrical equipment? And if they know it's coming, they're going to have to shut everything down or it will be fried. Do you understand that? What is coming ahead is a disaster. And it's all because of nuclear power plants. And number 6 and 7 is the infamous Fort Calhoun, and down the road from it, the Cooper plant. And this here is looking at Fort Calhoun, water has leaked into the building containing radioactive material. The water will be treated as radioactive waste. So they have holes. They are being flooded. And here's a small video clip of that situation.
The flooded Missouri River. Over the last 2 days, the nation's top nuclear man getting a look and quieting rumors about their safety. KMTV Action 3 News reporter Dave Roberts live with this story. Dave.
From fires to levee failures, the Fort Calhoun nuclear power plant is at war with the Missouri River. The NRC chairman just wants to make sure the river doesn't win.
I'll show you that there.
Until now, OPPD refused all our requests to see the flooding at the Fort Calhoun nuclear power station.
We don't want any filming inside the security building at all.
Even though we can't see everything, alongside NRC chairman Gregory Yasko, we get to see something.
We store radioactive material in that building. There is some minor water leakage into the building, and that water we treat as radioactive waste.
Water is everywhere, especially after a temporary inflatable levee burst, sending water pouring toward the plant.
Yeah, you can see the deflated ladder there.
It was a backup to a backup, but it wasn't the kind of thing that we required for them to do to ensure safety.
Yasko's biggest concern is radiation and preventing exposure.
We'll continue to oversee their activities, and we'll continue to identify issues as we see them and expect them to fix them.
Even as bad as the flooding looks, Yasko says the plant is safe to the public and should be for the duration of the flood.
The plant is safe, it remains safe.
Okay, now they're showing us pictures of
Every day that goes by,
the inside of the facility. Finally, as you can see, it's engulfed with water. I mean, just absolutely inundated. They got leaks, and any of you that got common sense, I just watched a video with the woman that was with the guy up in the mountains where all the snow's at and getting ready to melt, and he said there's 76 inches. 76 inches of snow that hasn't even begun to melt because it is unseasonably cold there still. And in the next 4 weeks, as it's expected to melt off, some of that will go into the lake, and the rest on the other side of the ridge will all head down into the canyon, into the Missouri River. Okay? It's coming. Ask yourself, if me and you ran this commission, and we knew that there was a huge flood coming, and we knew right now that we're under feet and feet and feet of water, would we not go ahead and shut down these plants as a precaution? Nah. You got to also take a look here, folks, at who is controlling the spillways and the dams right now. And it is the U.S. Army Corps. And did you know that the main group that is coming behind all these people that are being, these thousands of people that are being evacuated, all this farmland that is just being saturated with water, guess who's coming in and buying it up by the thousands of acres? The U.S. Army Corps. So the same people that are letting this water out at their own pace and flooding certain areas, controlled, is coming right behind these people as they're leaving their homes, and they're buying their property up for cheap. And buying up all this land, every bit of it. And not to mention, they're turning the knobs and they're filling these dams now to capacity. They're full to the brim. Full to the brim. And we have all of this snow melt coming. What does that tell you? That tells you that this area right here is going to be totally submerged. Okay? And that's our fight against water right now with these nuclear plants. And that takes us up to Fort Calhoun. And the situation in Cooper, it is only sitting 2 feet below flood stage at the present moment. If a 5-foot wall comes, we all know it's done for. So, let's move on. And lo and behold, now we have Los Alamos in New Mexico that is sitting right in the middle of an inferno, and it's not looking good for these guys down there. And we have a huge stash of nuke waste sitting there in fabric tents. It's just ridiculous to me. Just ridiculous that this government, that this country lets one of the most traumatic and most devastating things that could kill us all go unchecked. And as we all watch it unfold here, very few people are standing up to do anything about this. For the most part, all a lot of people can do in the flood areas right now is run. Same with Los Alamos here. It's time we make a change, and I'm afraid with all the people in this country that continue to sleep that it's not going to be until people start dropping dead or a huge catastrophe happens, and by then it's going to be too late. Let's take a look at this video here. Finally, the media, mainstream, lamestream media, is turning its attention to these issues.
Active smoke in New Mexico, a raging wildfire burning in the backyard of the Los Alamos nuclear research compound, dangerously close to stockpiles of atomic waste that are stored in above-ground tents. Now, if the wildfire flames hit that waste, we could be talking catastrophe. Already 11,000 people have been forced to leave the town of Los Alamos, worried that a plume of radiation could actually go up in smoke.
We understand there's risks, but this is our community, and this is how we support our communities.
Pretty much just hanging out, you know. I thought there'd be a lot more people sticking it out up here, but I guess everybody bailed.
Adam Housley joins us live from Los Angeles. Adam, what's the latest on this fire?
Yeah, Greg, that nuke concern was really floated by an anti-nuke group. In fact, when you have a chance to talk with the laboratory, they'll tell you that where these nuke locations, where these waste, this radioactive waste is stored, is surrounded by asphalt, it's surrounded by rock. There's significant fire breaks between it and any vegetation. At the same time, they have what's called foam sprayers all ready to go to put over the top of any of these locations if, for example, somehow a flame was to jump a significant distance and somehow catch a plastic barrel on fire. So it's been more floated by some of the anti-nuclear people out there, the folks that are against this location in general, and then it kind of maybe manifested itself a bit in the media. Having said that, the fire itself is still very, very dangerous. It's burned over 61,000 acres in the area. It's threatening the town of Los Alamos. They brought in air tankers from the California Air National Guard. Firefighters are saying today is really the make or break day because they have okay weather conditions.
So now we're going to look here at a chart of the U.S. commercial nuclear power reactors in the years of operation, and a lot of these have been licensed well past the point that they were designed to handle. And as you can see, the East Coast, east of the Mississippi, in the Missouri line especially, that's where it's at. And if something huge was to happen on this planet, yes, this would be a dead zone. Huge CME was to come. They'd have to shut down all of these reactors. Not only that, these are places that are sites, universities, labs like Los Alamos right here that aren't nuke plants. They're different sites. So add them with all these, and we've got a huge mess on our hands. And also take a look at where all these earthquakes are popping off. Yeah, these places, people better watch out. So that's 8 in the past 2 months, and I hope this video wakes a few people up to the nuke problem we have in this country. So till next time, this is Dabu 7 for Wednesday, June 29th, 2011.